Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and I have a process video for you here. This is the first layout that I am making with my Valley High kit, which is the July kit from Studio Calico from 2013. And this is going to be a double page spread, which I don't make double page spreads very often, but this one was really appropriate because I have four 4x6 pictures, and they are that one is of Kaylin, and the other two are going to be of Layla, but they're the same subject. So I wanted to do a double page spread to bring them together without having four 4x6 pictures on my page. So this layout is basically, it's about how they love to get a hold of my phone, and they take selfies with my phone. And I'm constantly finding random pictures of them on my phone that they take of themselves. So for Kaylin's pictures right there, that's actually a screenshot from my phone. I found those, and she literally took probably 50 pictures, just different positions and smiles and faces. So I kind of framed them in my camera roll on my iPhone, and I took a screenshot of them, so there's multiple ones in one photo. So all of the papers that I'm using here are all from the kit. That cardstock is from the kit there. Just the background, the white cardstock, is the only thing, the only paper that's not from the kit that I needed to use. And that's because when you get kits, you normally only get one piece of each cardstock. So you usually don't get, two sheets of the same color. So since it was a double page spread, I wanted them both to be white so that they were unified together, so I just got those from my stash. So I'm kind of laying out how I want it on the left-hand side for Kaylin, and then I'm just going to mimic that on the right-hand side for Layla. And since I didn't have enough papers, I don't have that same sheet of paper that's framing Kaylin's pictures. I don't have that same sheet enough to make one for Layla as well. So with Layla's, I'm going to use that lined paper there, but it has the teal branding strip on the bottom, so I'm going to leave that intact, and that kind of helps bring the teal over from Kaylin's background as well. So it looks unified without, without having the same pictures on there. And I'm just going to line these pictures up to kind of have them in just about the same place on both sides. So they're almost going to be like a mirror image of each other. Layla's so funny too. She, Kaylin's is all, her face is in the frame and she's doing stuff. Layla's, the first one is half of her face. And then the second one, she has figured out how to use a filter on the camera. So I will constantly find my camera phone with a filter on it, and I always have to change it back to a non-filter because I don't normally use them. So that second one of Layla with her full face is a filter on it. So she's so funny. So that right there is the cards that they put in the kit saying what kit it is, kind of the details of the kit, and then the back side is, it has the Studio Calico logo in the middle, but then the rest of it is like a pattern. Oops, sorry, hit my camera. The rest of it is a pattern, so I cut it in half to use on each side, so it just has a little bit of yellow popping out on each side, and it just looks like a pattern paper, but it's actually the advertising card that they put into the kits. So right now, I don't want to use all of those alphas for the title. My title's going to be pretty long, so I'm just looking for another alpha in my stash to use to help break up the title a little bit, and I'm going to use those hot pink ones to kind of help bring out the pink in that cardstock there. So my title's going to be pretty big all along the bottom here. And those are the thickers from the kit. They're called Dazzle, and they're cork. They are awesome. So I drew a line there just to help me keep everything semi-straight. So I'm just going to line up the word selfie along the line, kind of center everything on the line. And then with the other part of it, I'm going to do above and below the line, because it's going to be two different lines with the hot pink alphabet. I have trouble getting those stickers in there. So the title technically is Selfie, but on the left-hand side, I'm gonna put, but first let me take a selfie. And that's just from the song title, from that Selfie song, which I love to work out to, actually. And I had it in my head the entire time I was doing this layout. It's a good song. I'm kind of getting rid of some of the pencil lines there. I couldn't get it directly in between the cork. I actually tried to do that, but and my eraser took off some of the cork actually, so I just left it. You can't really see it that much. And I'm lining these up on my ruler and sipping my herbal tea, pardon me, just so that I can kind of have it centered underneath the first line of text there. And that's a fun little trick, just to put your alphabets on the edge of your ruler, and then you can kind of move it around without sticking it down first. And then once you figure out where you want to place them, you can start sticking them down. So I'm going to get some of these layers done here. That O-Snap die cut and the Polaroid are both from the basic gray die cut pack that came in the kit. And those two cork arrow things, one says this and the other one says hello, those were both from the kit as well. Those were the only two in there, so I used up that package. Get those stuck down with my glossy accents. I'm lining it up to make sure everything's pretty straight. Digging in here. I'm going to use that stamp. I don't think I do it right away. So I'm going through, this is the die cut pack that the camera and everything came in. I'm going to use one of those frames, that pink frame right there, to help bring out the hot pink in the title. And, oh yeah, my cork arrow had moved on me. I didn't realize it at first. I think when I moved the layout up, it hit something. So I'm kind of wiping up the glossy accents that come off. But it actually rubbed off that die cut pretty well because it's acetate. So it actually rubbed off nicely, which was good. So I'm going to hold that down there for a few more seconds to make sure it stays. And figure out where I want this frame. I know I want to cut it up and put it on both sides so that I have the hot pink accented on both sides. So that one I know I want to go up in that corner there. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that stuck down. I like the way that looks. It looks like it's a full frame, but you know, I cut it up so you can't see that. And then this one's a little more difficult because it's just two straight lines. It's not, you know, it doesn't have the frame look anymore, but I'm going to just layer it behind here. So now it kind of looks like it's a solid piece. And then it has that yellow ribbon there as well, which kind of ties into the yellow that I had put on there from the advertising card there. And what am I doing now? I think I'm getting some ink. Yep, I'm getting some Hero Arts shadow ink, and that is in bubblegum. And I'm just going to stamp this camera a few times in the upper left hand and the lower right hand corners. And I stamped off the page a little bit to make it look like it was a random, just kind of almost scattered. I'm going to do the stamping, and I'm also going to put some enamel dots, and I'm going to do some mist splatters in both those corners as well. So those are kind of some accent corners. I'm probably looking around to see what else I want to stick on this page. And I'm hitting my camera every time I get up, I swear. My tripod is right behind my chair, so sometimes I'm lucky and I don't hit my camera. I try really hard not to. So I'm going to do some mist splatters. I am using the Heidi Swap Color Shine. I'm using Primrose. And it's really nice and sparkly once it's dry. It's really, really pretty. That Color Shine stuff is gorgeous. It's a nice pretty pink that ties in well with the ink. I'm going to get my enamel dots out. And I'm using enamel dots from My Mind's Eye. Most of that whole thing is My Mind's Eye. I think they're probably the leaders in making enamel dots. I have a couple other, there's some Studio Calico and Freckled Fawn in there as well, but My Mind's Eye seems to be, they make the most, I guess. So I used pink and yellow for the enamel dots, one big pink and then two smaller yellows. And now I'm going to take my black Sharpie and I'm going to do my journaling, and it just says this is, I'm trying to read it, this is what you discover when little girls get a hold of your phone. It's funny, my husband, we have iPhones, both of us, so, our phones sync up, and every once in a while he's like, the girls got your phone again, I'm seeing like 50 pictures of Kaylin. Like, yeah, I know. So I'm taking my Sharpie here and I'm outlining in black just to kind of help center everything and tie it in. So when you're flipping through the album, they'll both be outlined together. So it really shows, these are supposed to be together. And that is the layout. Here's some close-ups for you. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you really soon. Bye.